The True Value Company is an American staple for tools and hardware, but have you ever wondered about its origins, or perhaps the mansions the company built back in the Gilded Age? Hi everyone, Ken here. Today we're visiting some over-the-top residences in Chicago and Lake Geneva. Hit that subscribe button and let's explore this house. A.C Bartlett's life began far from mansions and country estates. He was born in 1844 to a modest family in rural upstate New York. At age 19, armed with determination but little else, he set out for the booming city of Chicago and found work as a lowly clerk, even acting as a janitor in a hardware firm. His work ethic quickly became the stuff of company legend. He was the first in the office each morning and the last out at night. Within just a few years, he had risen from stocking shelves to handling orders and managing sales. By 1869, at only 25, his dedication earned him a partnership at Tuttle, Hibbert and Company, the wholesale hardware business where he started. His timing and talents were fortunate. In 1871, the Great Chicago Fire leveled much of the city, but in the aftermath, demand for building supplies skyrocketed and his firm prospered by helping rebuild the city. A.C.'s persuasive letters convinced far-flung suppliers to keep sending goods despite the devastated city, allowing the company to survive and thrive during Reconstruction. Over the next decade, he helped transform the firm into a powerhouse, and by 1882, the company reorganized as Hibbert, Spencer, Bartlett and Company, adding A.C.'s name to the masthead. As older partners passed away, Bartlett ascended, vice president in 1890, then president in 1904. Under his leadership, Hibbert, Spencer, Bartlett and Company became one of the largest hardware enterprises in the world. The company would later introduce the True Value line of tools, a brand that still lives on in hardware stores to this day. Outside of business, Bartlett was a reserved, studious man. He avoided high society's limelight in favor of quiet evenings reading at home in his South Prairie Avenue mansion. Yet he emerged as an influential civic figure in Chicago. He served on the city's Board of Education, was a director of major banks and insurance companies, and generously supported cultural institutions like the Art Institute and Chicago Historical Society. Around this time, in the early 1900s, Geneva Lake's wooded shores were lined with the estates of Chicago tycoons, a Midwest Newport of summer cottages that were anything but humble. In 1905, A.C. secretly commissioned noted architect Howard Van Doren Shaw to design a grand vacation home on Lake Geneva's North Shore. Shaw was a family friend and one of Chicago's leading residential architects, famed for blending traditional European elegance with modern comfort. Bartlett gave Shaw an unusual directive. The project was to remain a surprise gift for his wife Abby. Shaw's design for the freshly dubbed house in the woods was a masterful blend of old-world charm and modern Midwestern comfort. The mansion is laid out in a U-shape, enfolding a rear courtyard and terrace that welcome visitors from the landward side through a dog trot. Facing the lake, the home's facade is distinguished by large arch bay windows that offer sweeping views of the water through the trees. Triple arch loggias and arcades punctuate the design, an Italianate touch that Shaw would echo in later Lake Geneva projects. The red-tiled roofs, cream-colored stucco, and vine-draped walls lent the house the air of an Italian villa hidden in the Wisconsin woods. To truly appreciate the house, however, we must make our way over to the side and head through the dog trot. Here we step through the archway and face a massive swimming pool. This is the interior courtyard, a private slice of paradise nestled behind the main house. As we turn to our side, we see the studio to the other end of the pool, serving as a guest house and additional entertaining space. To best understand where we go from here, we'll take another look at the floor plan, opening the door in the dog trot and heading south and around the bend to find the gallery. This is the view we now have, looking down the barrel-vaulted gallery towards a tile mosaic fountain way off in the distance. To our right is the library, with built-in bookcases flanking the fireplace and a massive bay window looking out over Geneva Lake. This opens to the loggia, which runs parallel to the gallery, where we find windows that can be removed seasonally to enjoy the beautiful summers here. The loggia feeds us into the dining room, which was reportedly covered in murals painted by their son Frederick Clay Bartlett, who grew up to become a famous artist and art collector. House in the Woods did not remain a private secret for long. In June 1909, just a few years after its completion, the estate was prominently featured in Ladies' Home Journal as one of the 12 most beautiful country homes in America. As the 1910s progressed, A.C. gradually stepped back from day-to-day business and public life to enjoy more time in his beloved Lake Geneva retreat. By 1914, he had become the chairman of his hardware firm's board, a senior role that allowed him to relinquish daily management. He lived out the rest of his life in comfort, passing away while vacationing in Pasadena at the age of 77. Bartlett's passing in 1922 came at a time of great change for Chicago's old aristocratic neighborhoods. Nowhere was this more true than on Prairie Avenue. Once known as Millionaire's Row, Prairie Avenue saw a rapid decline in the early 20th century as wealthy families moved north and heavy industry encroached on the south side. Ultimately, the Bartletts Chicago mansion met the same fate as most of its Grand Prairie Avenue peers. It was demolished mid-century as the area was rezoned for commercial use and cleared for new development. But what became of House in the Woods? In short, it remains what it always was, a cherished family retreat. The current owners, only the third family in over 115 years, continue to use it as a home, one that balances modern living with a rich patina of history. And on that happy note, I'll turn it over to you. What did you think about House in the Woods? Let me know down below in the comments section. And while you're there, make sure you're subscribed so you never miss an exciting episode of This House.